Life under lockdown has certainly not been easy. These troubling times have caused a lot of tension and anxiety amongst households. But the next big question is, how are we going to cope with life after lockdown? Getting back into routines, back to the office life, socializing. I mean, this may take some getting used to for many people all over the world. Now, this morning we chat to Councillor Monique Schneigans on how to prepare for life after lockdown. A very good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Monique.
Hi, good morning. Thank you so much for having me on the show.
I mean, we know that, the lockdown has affected people from all over the world, but we want to know how it has done so when it comes to stress and tension and anxiety specifically.
Yes, lockdown has had a very big effect around the world and on our society. And I think a very few people can say that they were not affected by lockdown. And I can think of a number of ways how lockdown has caused those feelings of anxiousness and stress and even anger. People losing their jobs, not having an income, their salary has to be reduced. You get the people that like to go out and enjoy themselves, being sociable, have now been restricted to their homes, being with their, just being at home, not spending their time with their family and friends. We also have our frontline workers who are under a tremendous amount of stress, who work around the clock while we are at lockdown, and they have to risk their lives saving those that are in need. Then we should also think about the elderly people. So they are currently as well in lockdown as we are, but we have to think long term. For example, when lockdown does lift, they are probably going to have to self-isolate. And that support system that they normally would have would be quite restricted at the moment. As well as when lockdown started, a lot of us found that comfort and safety in our own homes. But now we are faced with the challenge as to we have to go out to society, and that can be challenging to deal with that.
How is this, change in lifestyle and routine going to affect people?
Yes. So I think, first of all, what we can do is to accept that there will be a new normal and that it will take time for us and the economy to recover from this. And then in a general sense, what we can expect is, for example, people wearing more masks every day, having that as a daily accessory. More people will work from home. The traveling might be limited. Social gatherings might be limited. And like I said earlier, the economy will definitely need time to recover from this. So just preparing ourselves for that. And then if we look at it in a social aspect, I think the way we interact with people generally will have a drastic change. Yes. For example, if we now constantly have to be aware of where are we going, who are we spending time with, am I safe? And that in itself can be exhausting. But if I can say one positive thing is that with everything that lockdown has, with the problems that arise from this, people are now standing together, helping one another, trying to see how they can help their neighbour in need. And I think this will continue throughout the lockdown period as well as after.
But what can we do now, Monique, to start preparing ourselves for this change, to start preparing for post-lockdown life?
Yes, so basically, I think just to mentally prepare ourselves that there will be a new normal, that is the first step, to understand that things will not be the same. And just that it will take time to go back to the normal that we knew, even if that is possible. So just trying to prepare ourselves for that change. And then I would say just to accept that things will be different, not to be resilient, and then what I can recommend as well is for people to try and look out for early signs of anxiousness and stress so that they can get the professional help that they need as soon as possible. But what we can do practically to prepare ourselves is to make sure that we have enough protective gear, we have enough sanitation products, we do what we can. For example, try to eat more healthy, get our exercise. And what I think is very important is to do that daily self-assessment. So when we do go out to society, that we make sure that we are not a threat to the ones out there, so that we can just make sure that we are okay.
And the president has mentioned that it's up to us now to take responsibility for our health and how we engage with people in our communities, at work or even at school. But speaking about school, I mean, kids will be preparing for school life again, which may take some adjusting to do, to be honest. But what can they do to deal with the stress and anxiety regarding this?
Yes. So I think in this area, parents will play a very big role. The reason why I'm saying that is if the parents can prepare the children as to what they can expect when they go to school, if they can give them the guidelines as to how things will play out, I believe that feelings of anxiousness will decrease and they will feel empowered. They will feel like they know what is going to happen, so they will feel better about the situation. And I think one of the ways that the parents can do that is by doing their research as to what is government currently doing to try and help the schools prepare for for the schools to open and the children to come in again. So when I say that the government is currently trying to figure out, how many students should be in a class, that there will be social distancing between the desks. So those are the things that if they are aware of that, then I think those feelings of anxiousness will definitely decrease.
I know that the government is currently installing water tanks around, disadvantaged areas in different schools, which is something that they are actively doing. And I saw somewhere on social media in France that, the playground now for kids is different. There are blocks for social distancing. You have to play with each other from a distance, which is very interesting. And it goes back to what you mentioned about, expecting a new normal. Thank you so much, Councillor Monique Schneigans, for joining us this morning, for shedding some light on the importance, of managing our stress and anxieties during these troubling times, but also how to prepare for post-lockdown. I hope that you have a fantastic morning further.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me.
Now, during these uncertain times, it's very important that we do the best we can to remain calm and relaxed. Now, CALMETTES is a natural calmative that can assist in anxiety and tension, especially during these difficult times. CALMETTES, a calmative of natural plant origin for nervous tension and anxiety, for both adults and children over 12 years of age.